Mastering Tenses for a Band 9 in IELTS Grammar. To achieve a Band 9 in the IELTS speaking and writing sections, one must demonstrate a wide range of grammatical structures used accurately and flexibly. Among these, mastery over tenses is essential. Proper use of tenses allows candidates to effectively describe experiences, discuss ideas, explain sequences of events, and make predictions. Present simple. Usage. Facts, habits, routines, general truths. Examples. I study English every day to improve my skills. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Many people prefer to live in urban areas due to better job opportunities. Explanation. In IELTS Speaking Part 1, you are often asked about your daily routine. Using the present simple appropriately shows control and accuracy. Present continuous. Usage. Actions happening now or around now, future arrangements. Examples. I am preparing for the IELTS exam this month. She is attending an online English course. We are meeting the professor tomorrow to discuss our assignments. Explanation. In speaking or writing task 1, letter writing, present continuous is useful when describing current actions or scheduled plans. Present perfect. Usage. Past actions with present relevance. Examples. I have visited several English-speaking countries. She has improved her writing skills significantly. We have completed the project ahead of the deadline. Explanation. Shows experience and achievements. Useful in writing task 2 or speaking part 2 when discussing life experiences or progress. Present perfect continuous. Usage. Actions that began in the past and continue into the present. Examples. I have been studying English for over 5 years. He has been working hard to enhance his vocabulary. Explanation. Demonstrates duration and continuous effort. Useful when expressing time-based development. Past simple. Usage. Completed actions in the past. Examples. I watched a documentary on climate change yesterday. They organized a language workshop last weekend. Explanation. Commonly used in speaking part 2 when describing past events or memories. Past perfect. Usage. One past action occurred before another. Examples. I had finished the essay before the deadline. By the time the seminar started, I had already arrived. Explanation. Shows time relationship between two past actions. Will plus base verb. Usage. Predictions, promises, decisions made at the moment. Examples. I will submit my application tomorrow. I think she will do well in the interview. Explanation. Often used in writing task 2 to present future solutions or predictions. Going to plus verb. Usage. Planned actions or intentions. Examples. I am going to take the IELTS test next month. They are going to launch a new course soon. Explanation. Useful when talking about goals or personal plans. Present continuous for future. Usage. Confirmed future arrangements. Examples. I am meeting my tutor at 5 p.m. tomorrow. We are flying to London next week. Explanation. shows confidence and precision, suitable for both speaking and writing. Future perfect. Usage. Actions that will be completed before a specific future time. Examples. By next week, I will have completed all my assignments. She will have learned enough grammar to write an academic essay. Explanation. Advanced tense structure that shows grammar range. Ideal for higher band writing tasks. Why this is Band 9 level grammar. Range. Includes a variety of present, past, and future tenses. Accuracy. Examples are free from grammatical errors. Flexibility. Tenses are used naturally and appropriately for different contexts. Complexity. Examples include complex sentence structures, such as conditional forms and perfect tenses. Relevance. All examples are closely aligned with common IELTS topics: education, career, environment, etc. Tips for practice. Identify and highlight tense shifts in model IELTS essays. Record your responses and check for tense accuracy. Rewrite paragraphs using different tenses to build control. Practice writing Task 1 and Task 2 essays focusing on proper tense use. Mastering tense usage is one of the fastest ways to boost your IELTS score. By practicing and applying these tenses effectively, you not only show grammatical accuracy, but also impress the examiner with your command of the English language. Conditional sentences, also known as if sentences, are essential for expressing real and unreal situations, possibilities, consequences, and hypothetical scenarios. In the IELTS exam, conditionals can help you demonstrate a strong grasp of grammar, logical reasoning, and the ability to discuss abstract or future situations, especially in writing Task 2 and speaking Part 3. 0 conditional. Usage. Expresses general truths, scientific facts, and rules, something that always happens under certain conditions. Structure. If plus present simple, present simple. Examples. If you heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. If students practice daily, they improve their language skills. Explanation. This conditional is ideal for IELTS Writing Task 2 when presenting universal facts or educational principles. First conditional. Usage. Refers to real or likely future situations and their results. Structure. If plus present simple, will plus base verb. Examples. If I study regularly, I will pass the IELTS exam. If the government invests in education, the literacy rate will increase. Explanation. Shows future cause and effect, useful for forming logical arguments in essays or expressing future plans in speaking. Second conditional. Usage. Imaginary or unlikely situations in the present or future. Structure. If plus past simple, would plus base verb. Examples. If I had more free time, I would learn another language. If public transport were more reliable, fewer people would drive cars. Explanation. Demonstrates your ability to think hypothetically, common in speaking Part 3 when asked about ideal solutions or opinions. Third conditional. Usage. Refers to past situations that didn't happen and their imagined results. Structure. If plus past perfect, would have plus past participle. Examples. If I had studied harder, I would have achieved a higher score. If the government had taken action earlier, the crisis could have been avoided. Explanation. Advanced structure often used in reflective writing or hypothetical arguments about past events. Adds depth to your IELTS Task 2 writing. Mixed conditionals. Usage. Combines two different time references in one sentence. Common types. Past condition with a present result. If plus past perfect. Would plus base verb. If I had taken that course, I would be more confident now. Present condition with a past result. If plus past simple. Would have plus past participle. If she were more responsible, she wouldn't have missed the deadline. Explanation. Mixed conditionals show excellent command of English and are rarely used by low-level speakers. This elevates your grammar band score. Why this is Band 9 level grammar. Range. Includes all 5 conditional forms with flexibility. Accuracy. Each structure is used correctly with appropriate tenses and punctuation. Complexity. Use of mixed and third conditionals shows high-level grammar control. Relevance. Conditionals are used naturally in academic writing and speaking. Clarity. Sentences are logically constructed and easy to understand. Sample IELTS Writing Task 2. Use. Topic. Some people think education should be free. Do you agree or disagree? Example paragraph. Using conditionals. If education were free, more students from low-income families would be able to attend university. In the long run, if the government supports higher education, the country will benefit from a more educated workforce. If authorities had implemented this policy a decade ago, unemployment rates might have decreased. Tips for practice. Practice transforming conditional types. For example, rewrite a first conditional as a second. Use conditional sentences when discussing causes, effects, and hypothetical solutions. Incorporate conditionals in your IELTS speaking answers during Part 3. Analyze sample Band 9 essays and identify how conditionals are used logically. By mastering conditionals, you can express complex ideas with precision, show your ability to evaluate different outcomes, and impress the examiner with a sophisticated command of grammar, one of the clearest indicators of a Band 9 IELTS user. Mastering passive voice for a Band 9 in IELTS Grammar. The passive voice is a powerful grammatical structure that is essential for achieving a high band score in the IELTS exam. It is particularly useful in writing Task 1, especially academic Task 1, where you describe processes or trends, and in formal writing, where the focus is on the action or result rather than the subject performing the action. What is passive voice? In a passive sentence, the object of an active sentence becomes the subject, and the doer of the action is either omitted or placed at the end of the sentence using by. Structure. Be plus past participle, V3. Example, active. The teacher explains the lesson. Example, passive. The lesson is explained by the teacher. Why use passive voice in IELTS? Focus on the result or process rather than the agent who is doing it. Makes writing more formal and objective. Commonly used in scientific, technical, and academic descriptions. Essential for describing process diagrams, data trends, and general procedures. Present simple passive. Structure. Am, is, are, plus past participle. The report is written by the manager. Letters are delivered daily. Past simple passive. Structure. Was, were, plus past participle. The meeting was held in the main hall. The house was built in 1990. Present perfect passive. Structure. Has, have been, plus past participle. The results have been announced. Many buildings have been damaged by the earthquake. Future passive. Structure. Will be, plus past participle. The final decision will be made tomorrow. New regulations will be implemented next year. When describing a process diagram, use the passive to avoid mentioning the agent. Example: first, the raw materials are transported to the factory. Next, they are processed and filtered. Finally, the finished product is packaged and shipped. Band 9 Explanation. Consistent use of passive structures shows control. Vocabulary is formal, concise, and topic-specific. No unnecessary repetition of agents, like they or people. Passive voice in General Task 2 writing. Used when the doer is unknown or not important. Examples: the environment is being destroyed by human activities. It is believed that education plays a crucial role in development. Punishments should be enforced to reduce crime rates. Common passive voice phrases for IELTS writing. It is suggested that. It has been proven that. The problem can be solved by. Laws should be implemented. The system is managed by the local authority. Why this is Band 9 level grammar. Range demonstrates use of passive voice across different tenses. Accuracy. Sentences are grammatically correct and contextually appropriate. Formality. Passive voice increases the formal tone of writing. Relevance. Fits well in academic and opinion-based writing tasks. Fluency. Passive constructions are natural and not forced. Tips to practice passive voice. Rewrite active sentences into passive voice. Describe a process from a diagram using only passive structures. Practice summarizing news articles using passive voice. Use passive voice when writing essays on public issues or global problems. To achieve a Band 9 in IELTS Grammar, you must not only use a variety of structures, but also apply them appropriately. Mastering the passive voice allows you to write objectively, describe complex processes clearly, and elevate the quality of your written and spoken English. Use it wisely and strategically to impress the examiner with your grammatical range and accuracy. Modal verbs are essential tools in English that express ability, possibility, permission, advice, obligation, and necessity. In the IELTS writing and speaking tests, using modal verbs accurately and flexibly helps you sound more natural, express nuanced opinions, and demonstrate a wide grammatical range. Modal verbs are particularly useful in writing Task 2 and speaking Part 3 when discussing solutions, opinions, and hypothetical situations. Modal verbs are auxiliary helping verbs that modify the meaning of the main verb. They are followed by the base form of the main verb. Common modal verbs: can, could, may, might, must, shall, should, will, would. Can. Usage: ability, possibility, informal, permission. I can speak 3 languages. Pollution can cause severe health problems. IELTS tip: use this in speaking Part 1 to describe your abilities. Could. Usage: past ability, polite requests, possibility. I could swim when I was 5. The government could introduce stricter laws. IELTS tip: use in Task 2 to suggest alternative solutions. May, might. Usage: possibility, formal permission, may. People may live longer due to medical advances. It might rain tomorrow. IELTS tip. Use these to show uncertain predictions in writing task 2. Must. Usage. Strong obligation, necessity, logical conclusion. Governments must invest in education. This must be the right decision. IELTS tip. Useful when giving strong opinions or recommendations. Should. Usage. Advice, recommendations, expectations. We should reduce our carbon footprint. Children should be taught how to manage money. IELTS tip. Common in task 2 when discussing what individuals or governments ought to do. Will. Usage. Future certainty, promises, strong predictions. I will take the IELTS exam next month. Technology will continue to advance rapidly. IELTS tip. Use to express certainty or commitment in writing and speaking. Would. Usage. Hypothetical situations, polite requests, preferences. If I had more time, I would travel the world. I would prefer to study abroad. IELTS tip. Excellent for conditional sentences and formal opinions. Shall. Usage. Suggestions, formal obligations, mainly British English. Shall we begin the discussion? The policy shall be enforced next year. IELTS tip. Adds a formal tone to writing task 2 or general task 1. A candidate aiming for band 9 in grammar must use a wide range of modal verbs appropriately. Show control over degrees of certainty. May versus must. Combine modal verbs with complex sentence structures. Avoid overusing one modal. For example, always using should for recommendations. Example, Band 9 writing. While technology might reduce the need for traditional classrooms, it should not replace human interaction entirely, as this could lead to social isolation. Explanation. The sentence uses might, should, and could in one argument, showing range, accuracy, and fluency. Useful phrases with modals for IELTS. This could lead to. Governments must ensure that. One might argue that. Students should be encouraged to. The issue would improve if. Solutions may include. Common errors to avoid. He can go. Modal verbs don't take ed or s forms. She should study. Tips to master modal verbs. Listen to IELTS sample answers and highlight modal verbs. Practice writing Task 2 essays using a variety of modals. Record speaking responses using modals for advice, probability, and suggestions. Learn to pair modals with conditionals to build complex ideas. Using modal verbs correctly and naturally demonstrates your ability to present arguments, express opinions with subtlety, and write with formal clarity. To score a Band 9, master not just the basic forms, but the shades of meaning each modal adds to your message. Practice regularly, and you'll elevate your grammatical range, fluency, and accuracy in no time.